Right, come look at these then, buddy. And these we'll just talk about these setup positions that you've got now. And hopefully you can see quite a clear difference in setup. So this left, both of these you were trying to go sort of 50, 60 yards, which again is not a full, this is a gap wedge, 52, yeah?
52, yeah.
Okay, it's not a full shot, obviously. We know that. Yes, you narrowed your stance. That was fine. That was a good thing, okay? It does kind of encourage a shorter swing. But the fact your swing is quite long anyway, and you've increased your mobility because you've got a narrower stance, you still went back, I guess almost in some ways. That if I saw you in that position, we'd say he's going 100 yards.
Yeah.
This is a full shot.
Exactly.
So now you've generated 100 yards of power, which in the sake of, so that's 1.81 at the top of your backswing, you're hitting the golf ball at 202. So 200th of a second, 0.2 of a second, okay? You've now got to try to change that power, to reduce how far that ball goes. Now, the way people will do that is slow it down, lean back to try to hit it almost with a deflection, all of which cause you to generate the club into the ground behind the golf ball. So either fat it or you thin it, yeah? Both of which are not really going to be much success in terms of the outcome of your shot. So by changing your setup like this now, opening up that left foot, your ability now to go back fully is reduced, yeah? So you're still hinging your wrists as much as you feel comfortable. You're still trying to turn your body as much as you possibly can. You just can't go back far enough because by having your foot out this way, the knee goes that way. The knee goes that way, the hip can't go around there so much, so now your shoulder turns reduced. So now we look at that club position compared to that one there, compared to that one there. I mean, you wouldn't have to be a very good golfer to look at that and go, right, yeah, this one's going shorter. Yeah, this one's not got as much power in the shot, yeah? So from here now, because you've generated effectively 60 yards of power, now you can hit the ball effectively 100%. Again, good strike of the ball, hands are nicely in front, and that ball's coming off the club. It's a nice launch angle. And then fully through the target, hitting it effectively full, as opposed to, oh, that's a full backswing. I'll stop at the ball now. Look at the difference in your hand position, yeah?
Trying to slow it down.
You're trying to take power off and speed. So we look at that impact. Look at the difference in your hand position, yeah? Yeah. This one, your hand more sort of back in the middle here. That's taking a bit of power off. You flick it. That's going to cause your club to bottom out early and then try and swing through. It's just going to go way too far. This one here now, you're still turning your body through fully because you're able to move through. Look how much your lower half is. That there. If you just saw just that itself on the tee, you go, is it a full shot? Yeah. So a lot of the stuff you were doing, we're just setting up to hit it full, and then you'll go, let's go too far. I'll now try and take the power off.
It's just a better look sort of.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's like I've slowed up and gone rather than
And that's the way to look. Like I say, your gap wedge you would see as a club that goes a maximum of 100 yards or 105 yards. Whereas I would see your gap wedge as a club that goes a minimum of, say, 1 yard or 5 yards or whatever.
Yeah.
So if I want to go 50 yards on a 5 yard minimum, it's 10 times more. So it's more aggressive. I'm hitting the ball. I'm not slowing down. I'm not trying to quit or take yardage up. I'm stood there going, okay, here's a 50-yard shot. And the interesting thing was, after you changed to that setup, you almost found it difficult to hit it far enough. Yeah. The first 10 or 12, when you got into that sort of that length backswing, you were kind of going 40 yards, 42 yards. I'm kind of the ball far enough now. But then you realise, actually, I can actually give it a bit of a hit through the ball now. And that's what we're going to try and do, is get golfers the same way with your length of backswing when you're swinging too far, because the way your body was working. People overswing or swing back too far for short shots and then just try and shorten it. And it's very difficult to do because now your rhythm's all out of sync. You're not controlling where that club is. You're coming back to impact. You're not sure where the club is in terms of timing. So your contact's compromised.
Yeah.
Fats and thins with a pitch shot. I mean, you thin it with a 7-iron, it might go 10 yards further or 5-10 yards short, depending on how much you thin it. You thin it with a 50-yard shot, it's still going tomorrow, isn't it? So that's the problem. So you might make a swing that in your mind's going to go 50 yards. You hit the ground behind it, it goes 5. You hit it mid-ball, it's 105.
Yeah.
So your difference is just a massive gap, and then your judging distance then becomes almost impossible because you're guessing now, what am I going to get? Am I going to thin it or am I going to fat it?
Yeah.
But if you're trying to take power off, your low point's always going to be back here somewhere. Your contact's going to be compromised. So you change the setup, use that foot as like a kind of like an accelerator pedal, yeah? So if you want to go a bit longer, turn them in a bit. And you did that, you went about sort of 65, 70 yards. When you want to go longer, you go back to kind of this position again, yeah? You want to go shorter, you open him out a little bit. Okay, make sense?
Yeah.
Cool, have a couple more then, buddy, and we'll see if we can dial that in, okay?